So greetings from GeM. I'm PK Singh. I'm the CEO of GeM, that is Government E-Marketplace. As you all know, this is an initiative which was conceived through the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister way back in 2016, when there was a need to completely disrupt the way procurement is done in the government. If you remember, I mean, people have short memories, but if you remember the earlier procurement system, how tedious and riddled with confusion and corruption the system used to be. States had different rules, center had a separate rule. Even within the same central rules, organizations used to interpret it differently. Procurements used to happen in silos with localized sellers, complaints of cartelization and corruption. And with the Prime Minister's very clear message of zero tolerance for corruption, GeM came into being. It's been a long journey. It's been almost over 5 years now. And we have grown from a very small platform to now a considerable scale. And I would just say that the journey has been very interesting, but the journey doesn't end here. It is just maybe the beginning, wherein we have gotten over all the teething problems. We are aware of what the stakeholders require, the buyers and sellers. It's a typical ecosystem, as you know, that we have government buyers on one side and all and sundry sellers on the other side. So just to give you a basic starting stat, we are when we started the journey, it was with a modest some couple of 100 crores in the first year, which went up. It became about 7,000-8,000 crore. Then it jumped to 18,000 crore. And in the last year, it was 38,000 crore. And sometime in March of 2021, we crossed the cumulative value of almost 1 lakh crore in 4.5 years. And this year, I'm happy to share with you, this year in the single financial year, we are going to clock 1 lakh crore. And going by just the value, we'll be somewhere around 1 lakh 10 or so by the year end, almost $15 billion. By value, we'll be the largest platform in e-commerce space. Not by numbers. Number of transactions would be much less than compared to our people who are there in the e-commerce space. But then let me also tell you that we are still far from maturity, in the sense that almost on a daily basis there are requirements of new functional requirements, new developments, but the platform is kept evolving. Just imagine, I'll give you one small figure. On the savings part, a lot of people say, what is the benefit of GeM? Well, an independent study carried by World Bank way back in, I think, 2020, it said that almost close to, on an average, 9.75, almost 10% is the savings in terms of value. Now, if you see about, I think on 28th of Feb, we had a cumulative figure of 2 lakh crore. So in its year of 4.5 years, 5 years of operation, we have ended up saving more than 20,000 crore for the government. That itself is no mean achievement. And going forward, this will be a much higher figure. I can assure you that, as more and more sellers log on to our portal. I will just tell you the difficulties we faced when this was started. Every government buyer, for obvious reasons, they didn't want to let go of the procurement parts. And bringing everybody onto a single rule engine, a single platform, so that everybody can, transact on that. There were huge challenges, in the sense that when we came up with all the functionalities, every buyer wanted something specific to be done. It was maybe a way of saying that we can't come onto GeM, but then gradually people realized the benefit and people started coming onto it. It was a very challenging journey indeed, but then yes, we are happy to say that after 4.5 years, 5 years, we have done our job to a reasonable level of satisfaction. But the best part is we know our shortcomings. Every day we are working on that. Currently we are in a code freeze because of STQC audit going on. But then every week we deploy new functionalities. And since inception, we have done more than almost 3,000 enhancements. 200 are currently in the pipeline. So that is the level of engagement with the portal on a day-to-day basis. Our three fundamentals of GeM are transparency, inclusivity, and efficiency. Transparency, obviously, because it's an online system, there's no manual interface to a large extent. We are a seller-agnostic platform. The buyer-seller don't see each other till the contract is finalized. Efficiency, yes, what used to be a procurement cycle of 6 months is now come down to almost 20 days, 25 days. Delivery included maybe 2 months maximum. But the best part is assured and timely payments. Earlier, the supplier used to factor in all those inefficiencies into his bid price. They used to expect payments after 6 months or maybe 1 year. Today, we assure them that yes, after the delivery is done, after the crack report is generated by the buyer, we assure that we will get the payment in 10 days. Yes, there are exceptions and we are working on that. But then by and large, the payment cycle, almost I think 85% of the payments are happening on time, which in itself is a large achievement. I will just give you some figures on the inclusivity part. Transparency and efficiency are taken care of by the digital platform. But the inclusivity aspect, we have almost close to 7 lakh MSME sellers on our platform. And of the total order value, almost, I would say 55-56% has come through this sector only. Last 2 years have been difficult for all of us because of COVID, because the person-to-person contact was not there. We were not able to reach out to people at their area of operation. But yes, come April and hopefully things will go well for all of us. There will be no more COVID. And we intend taking up the state engagement on a large way. We'll go out to people, have more onboardings, help them develop their product catalogs, understand the requirements, factor them in the portal. On the technology part, I would just say that, what started off as a technology, we adopted the technology of 2002. Later, we kept on evolving, patches were done, but our main concern was security. In such a platform where we commit to the buyers that we are ensuring end-to-end, encryption, there is no possibility of any kind of, somebody trying to take advantage of it. We had to be extremely particular that the encryption part is totally foolproof. To that extent, we have the best-in-class globally, the encryption technology is HSM module that we have, the hardware security module. It is used by SBI, it is used by the best-in-class in the world. We also have it on GeM. So any kind of doubt any person has that, somebody can have a look at the bid, that's all unfounded. It's been verified, re-verified and cross-verified by multiple people, and it is working. On the use of latest technology, I would say that, terms like AI, ML, blockchain are very loosely used when people mention about advanced technology. At GeM, we are actually implementing these. We are actually using these technologies. And to talk of AI, initially we used to, find out, we have a huge amount of data. So we used to find out as to, how the transactions are happening. Is there any possibility of any collusion through generating of normal SQL queries? But then we rolled out an RFP and we have engaged an agency, which is now able to develop specific AI models, which are learning with every transaction that is happening. And I'm happy to share that today there is complete visibility. And going forward, as I see it, in the next 9 months or so, we'll be not only able to check post-transaction any, something wrong which has happened. Even while you are creating a bid, there'll be prompts that look, something went wrong. Maybe the spec that you have applied is increasing the price to a large extent. Or maybe, the product is available in the market at this price. Why are you buying it so high? So the buyer will have to take a very conscious call, have to take the required approvals to go for a particular price level. On the blockchain part, it's a very interesting technology. We have launched an RFP wherein we want to use this technology for promoting all the GI tag products. That is something which I feel very passionate about. My whole organization feels very passionate about. These 400 plus GI tag products, which actually represent India as a whole. It could be, Kanjivaram sari, it could be Kulu shawl, it could be the black rice of Manipur, it could be Alfonso mangoes, anything which derives its value because of the geography from where it is produced. Now, the best part is that in such cases, a buyer would require to be satisfied about the provenance, that yes, if I'm buying this product, it's an authentic product. We all know that, there are a lot of counterfeits in several products. A Kulu shawl is manufactured by close to 185 genuine weavers at Kulu. But there are also the likes of Kulu shawl are manufactured all over Punjab as well. Now, how does a buyer know that this is a genuine product I'm buying? I'm paying for that. I'm paying maybe, 5 times, 6 times the price of a fake. So I would be required to be assured that the product is genuine, and blockchain technology can provide that kind of an assurance. So what we intend to do is, this is not as a part of business development for GeM. This is just to empower all these, I would say 5,000 to 6,000 registered authorized users who are manufacturing these or producing these 417 odd GI tag products. that yes, we will come to you, we'll empower you digitally, we'll make sure that you come up to a certain level that in case you don't want to transact with the government, you are free to log on to any of the e-commerce portals and carry out your business and sell your fantastic products all over the country. So that project should be launched in the next 1 year's time, I would say, because the RFP is now live. We'll take about 6 months of development, 6 months of training, and then it will be live. The idea behind is that this technology can be scaled up further. I'll just give a very small example. We all take our children to a doctor, for vaccinations and all. There are certain vaccines which require a particular level of temperature to be maintained all along the journey. And if a vaccine is required to be stored at say -4 Celsius, at any point in time, if the temperature is breached, the vaccine becomes ineffective. But what is the way that a common person like you and me, when we go to a doctor, we are assured that this vaccine, since its production up to the point of delivery, has been maintained at that level. This can also be done through this technology. So we are trying to develop on this further. And a day will come not very far from future where we can track the entire journey of the vaccine right from the manufacturer's premise up to the primary health center or the point where it is going to be injected. There'll be a complete visibility. There'll be an IoT device embedded in it, which will be in the temperature at every 5 minutes or 10 minutes to make sure that it has been maintained. Now, such is the possibility with technology, and we are using that, and we're going to use more of it in future. On the issue of inclusivity, as I mentioned, I'll just give you some figures I have right in front of me. We are focusing on artisans and weavers. We are focusing on startups. We are focusing on self-help groups, particularly in case of startups. Today, if you see the economy, startups are providing a huge promise. One may say that, out of 100, one may just shine, but the one that shines, it really shines bright. It has got tremendous employment potential. It has got tremendous business opportunities. Today on GeM, we have close to 12,756 startups who have cumulatively transacted close to 6,000 crore on GeM. Now, this is something which we need, which we feel that we are actually, contributing to the efforts, to the call of the Prime Minister for Atmanirbhar Bharat. These are people who are coming up with new ideas, new technology. All they require is they need a ready-made platform where they can market it. Now, we also have the system of a startup runway. You may develop a product which, there is no like product in the market. Now, where do you sell it? How do you sell it to the government? The government wants a prior experience, a tested product, multiple, vendors where competition is there. We provide the facility that, look, if you come up with a unique product, you can register on the startup runway. You can fix the price. We'll showcase it to the buyers. And if the buyer feels the price is reasonable, he can buy it. And I'm again happy to share that tremendous response has been received in some of the startup runway products. I'll mention one particular product, which I think one company, I'm forgetting the name right now, which developed a robot, a scavenging robot, which has the potential to completely eliminate this very hated and a very undesirable practice of human scavenging. This robot can go down in a pit. It can do the scavenging automatically without any human interference. Now, these are the ideas we want to propagate and we want to promote on our platform. As we see today, a silent revolution is being witnessed by all of us, particularly the JAM initiative, the Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile. Today, I'm happy to see that when I go to buy vegetables, I can pay the vegetable vendor through Paytm, and he happily accepts that. Earlier, there was such a mental block that whether money will come to me, somebody may cheat me. But today, it's become the norm. And going forward, the way things are going to be marketed, the kind of pace at which the technology is moving is unimaginable. And we, even in our government setup, we have to keep pace with that. So we are trying our level best to leverage technology to the maximum possible extent so that we are able to present a world-class platform to our customers, both the buyers as well as the sellers. Some people say that, our platform is complicated. It is, sometimes, there are too many things to be followed. To which I responded, look, this is not a normal ecosystem. This is a government buy. There are certain rules which have to be compulsorily implemented in toto. Now, we have this Make in India initiative. We have to offer certain preferences. We have rules related to country of origin products, where certain products can't be sold on GeM. So embedding all those things and embedding the entire GFR into the system, making sure that the sellers are all verified through their PAN, through their income tax statements, through their previous transactions. So they have to go through that rigor of passing all those tests to be able to sell to a government buyer, which in any case they would have done in offline mode also. So I don't see any problem when the portal asks for certain informations. That is just to make the system more foolproof, the system more corruption-free, the system more accountable, and the system more transparent. Just to give you a global flavor, when we started, there were public procurement platforms in the world. Cornips of Korea was the most established ones, amongst the most established ones. GB's was there, Chili Compra was there. So our team studied all those platforms, the way they operate. And today I'm happy to share that we are amongst the top 4, and very soon we'll be in the top 3. And inching ahead, maybe someday, not very far from future, we'll be at number 1 also. The growth so far has been extremely good. We are on an exponential growth path. And look at the base. Last year, the base was 38,000 crore. And we are going to do almost 2.5 to 3x times this year, in 1 year. And going forward, even at the same level of growth or maybe at a reduced level of growth, there's a huge possibility that we'll be closing in on somewhere around 2 lakh crore per annum on a very sustained basis. We are also looking at foraying into other areas. I mean, we are trying to have different schemes for promoting our small scale industries. And as I mentioned earlier, come April, we'll ensure that everybody in my office spends at least 15 days out in the field, trying to understand the problems, trying to make the journey more easy. One specific initiative I want to mention, which again flows from the vision of the Prime Minister, when he said that he has dreams of even the panchayats or the urban local bodies being able to transact on our platform. So on both these fronts, we are working very hard. In case of the panchayats, we are developing an integration with the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and for the urban local bodies as well. The idea here is that tomorrow, if a group of entrepreneurs at the village level, if they want to sell a product to any government buyer, we can use certain filters, we can use certain, ways enabled by technology, so that that sale is possible within a small geography. It need not be that a buyer from Rajasthan sells to somebody in Kerala. Maybe nearby, based on the pin code, nearby areas, they can procure their product locally. This will be a huge empowerment for the people who are trying to, breach that. They're not getting that activation energy to say, in terms of an engineer. GeM will provide that. In terms of integrations, we are very well integrated in the sense with all the banks, most of the banks. We have integrated with the GST portal, income tax, Aadhaar. So all the verifications happen online. There's no need for any paperwork at all. You just need to upload. Even an income tax statement, when you upload, the number is fed into the system, and the system automatically gets back to us saying that, yes, the amount of returns filed has been verified. So such is the power of technology. And I am a very firm believer that, any problem in procurement, particularly, or for that matter in any other field, be it medical, be it education, technology can provide all possible answers. It has made life so different for all of us. The way we learn today, the way we transact today in the market. And GeM, I'm proud to say that GeM has done its bit in the government procurement system. We are also open to criticism. We open it we welcome it with open arms. We have a very robust system in place, which is being again improved upon. Going forward, we intend to benchmark our parameters in the sense that where we stand today in terms of quality, in terms of efficiency. And we'll also spell out where we intend to be after, say, 2 years. And then inform all our stakeholders at regular intervals that, look, we were at this level, today we have moved up to, say, 10% up, and we are moving in the right direction. So summing it all up, I would just say that the journey so far has been very good. The journey has been a tremendous learning experience for all of us. And as I mentioned earlier, we are aware of the shortcomings. We always are open to all kinds of criticism. We try and take it in the right stride and try to, provide solutions rather than countering any allegation which is imposed against us. And the way technology has been adopted at GeM, I'm sure that in the next 2 years, 3 years time, it'll be a very seamless experience for all of us, all the stakeholders, I mean, and we'll continue with our growth path. My target is to go up to 2 lakh crore next year and maybe even beyond. We can bring in other areas. Also. Today we are only into goods and services. Tomorrow we can venture into other areas. A lot of people do ask me at times that when are you opening maybe a certain segment of GeM to the entire consumer segment. We are even planning for that. As I mentioned about the GI tag products, once the project takes off, we can perhaps showcase those fantastic products to the entire nation through a separate platform on GeM itself. We are working on that, and I'm sure that in the years to come, we'll be delivering on our promise of having a totally transparent, a totally inclusive, and a very efficient and a corruption-free system. Thank you.